Hey, Brambro back with some Grand Tactician Civil War in our new CSA campaign. The last episode was the campaign start. It was a little long. I left in all the reorganizing of armies and navies and stuff that I normally do off camera at the beginning of a campaign. There were a couple of things that I forgot to do during that stretch. Um, I talked a little bit about the naval strategy and how we're going to focus our effort down here around the Mississippi Delta, and why I organized my squadrons with that in mind. And the idea is that we have three 8-ship squadrons down here, which will kind of take turns beating up on a blockading fleet. They'll lose those battles, all right? that's a given. But to drive down the readiness of that blockade fleet and soften it up for an attack by an actual real squadron made up of frigates plus the one casemate ironclad that the game has you building at the start of the campaign as CSA. We could not build more casemate ironclads, but we have the one, which is going to take forever to build. They take like a year. And what I forgot to do was actually build the frigates. So I've done that. And so here's our one CSS Virginia casemate ironclad building. It's 30% done, and it's going to be ready. Okay, this is not correct. It says 0 days, but that's because time hasn't started running yet. It's going to take about 8 months for this thing to be done, I think. And to fill out the squadron, I've got 7 frigates building. Just the regular frigates, not the steam or the paddle wheel, just regular frigates. They're still fairly expensive, but they got 50 guns apiece. I think these are going to be pretty effective for what we want them for. So I did that. I also forgot to go around all of my forts and plug in political officers in command of those forts. I did leave one. So basically what I did, what's the last garrison? Okay, 37th Fort is Fort McIntosh. There is currently kind of a randomly generated volunteer officer. Sometimes they're even worse than this. And so we're going to replace him. Filter for political officers. I've already kind of gone through and grabbed a bunch of them. And what I did was, as I look at the stats of an officer, any of these guys whose total number of stars across the 5 attributes were less than 8. I went ahead and just shoehorned them into a fort. An officer that's got 8 or more stars here is kind of on the ragged edge of, okay, I don't mind if that guy goes into like a brigade or a battalion command in a field army. Or at least, like maybe for an engineer corps or something. So if they have 7 or less, they got a fort. And so that left quite a few colonels up here. What is this? 12 colonels, including some pretty good ones. Barksdale's pretty good. Wade Hampton is pretty good. This guy was, he barely made the cut. James Canty. This guy barely made the cut. James Walker. So these guys I left available. Zollicoffer here barely made the cut. He's got 8 stars. Hobby, not so much. He's a 7-star guy from Texas. Texas probably has pretty high support. Let's look at the support map. Well, they're all high. Maybe we can find a Missouri or a Kentucky guy. Let's see. Let's actually filter for Kentucky and Missouri. Okay, well, there's two. Joseph Lewis, welcome to Fort Command. And that'll make the legislature, the legislature in absentia somewhere in Confederate-controlled Missouri, happy. There you go. All right, so why do I go through the rigmarole of doing that at the beginning of a campaign? Because politically appointed officers, they're kind of a pain in the butt. They tend to feud more, is the idea, and a lot of them aren't very good. But when they're in command, they give a slight boost to state support from their home state. And forts are a nice way to give them a command. It's in the hierarchy, if I understand correctly, I may not, but a fort command, even though it's just like 50 dudes, apparently is equivalent to a divisional command in a field army. That's my understanding. That could be wrong, but I've read that before. And when you, I don't do this, and I doubt many people do, you can put forts within an army organization. I've never seen a huge benefit to doing that, and actually I ran into some problems a couple of campaigns ago with that. But it is possible, and when you plug it into that organization, it folds in there at the divisional level, and so that's a pretty prestigious command. I think we actually, I don't know for sure, but I think we might actually get more support in the home state than if we put these guys in a brigade command. Anyway, that's the main reason to do that. The other reason is a few of the better known or more important forts actually have historical officers plugged into command of them. For example, Benjamin Huger at Fort Norfolk, or on the Union side, General Butler at Fort Monroe. Most of the forts that just have a little 50-man garrison and that's it, and also any forts that you build during the campaign, they're just going to get like a randomly generated volunteer officer. Like that one that we just saw there for Fort McIntosh. And even though you're kind of putting the bottom feeders among the political officers in command of these places, they're still better. Most of the time, they're still better than the randomly generated commander that's there already. So it's a win-win in both directions. You're still improving your forts by doing this. Okay, enough of that. And then the final thing is a 1.06 thing, while I was doing that, I stumbled across this. There's another tab. I did mention this as we were looking at the field book. There's a weapons tab here now. This is new. And this is where you... Let me take the filter off. This is where you order up new weapons. So these are not all available. Matter of fact, most of them are not. But for example, if we had the technology unlocked, we can come in here and we can order us up specifically some Sharps rifles or Maynard carbines or, whatever. And we don't, and the way you unlock the technology, as I went over in the last episode, is these projects. You fill up those bars with your subsidy money, and then you'll reach a point where, repeating carbines or cavalry carbines or something fills up. You select that, and boom, that will unlock the Maynard. I don't know exactly what tech it is, but that's how these things get unlocked, and then you can come in here and actually buy them. So if I take these, if I filter this to technology available, right now, all I can order up is howitzers. That's it. I can't even order up new mixed muskets. Now, I don't need to because I recruit a brigade. They're just going to come with the mixed muskets anyway. But I can't do the Springfield muskets. I can't do the reboard muskets. None of it. So basically, what we have in the Army right now is all we got. That puts a little bit more pressure on things. And my immediate takeaway is that at least in these earlier 1861 start date campaigns, I think we're going to find that we go into the beginning days of the war less well armed than we did before. Because I did take the arms agent starter policy. But the kinds of, the few brigades worth of weapons that I'm used to seeing in the summer 1861 start, they're not there. The Hall's rifles aren't there. We did have a pretty good clump of Mississippis, but that's all I'm going to get. I have to actually research a project to put Mississippi rifles back in production in order to get more. I don't know if I'm going to do that. It is an older rifle, and it does have drawbacks. Mississippi rifle is very good on. Let's just look at the stats here. And I do have some in reserve. I thought and I think I talked about this before. It's very good for range, 500 yards, and very good accuracy. But it's a low rate of fire. And so, like for a straight up brigade on brigade confrontation, in the line fighting, it's okay. It still has that very good accuracy, but it's firing slower. It's not dealing out it's a low DPS weapon, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Where I really like these is flanking fire, because the brigade using these, can flank from quite a distance away and maybe not expose itself as much. And for putting out skirms to go after artillery. That's where I think these are really good. The slow rate of fire, though, those advantages kind of get negated a little bit when they're duking out, a brigade's worth of firepower in both directions at 300-yard range. So I don't know if I really want more of these. Anyway, this is the weapons tab, and that's new. Okay, I think that's enough preamble. Let's turn off that heat map. And let's get time rolling. Okay, Army of Northeastern Virginia is moving. I'm going to go ahead and let's get the Shenandoah Army moving over here, at least within reinforcement range. On the trains. I'll enable these two. Not for this movement, but who knows. Eventually, may want to cross a river or something. A quick point worth making that I'm thinking of as I look at these order delays. It also reminds me, turn off the battle monuments, turn on the telegraph and supply. I know I say this like every few episodes in every campaign. I really wish they made supply and telegraph lines visible by default, not make you turn them on every time you load the game up. Because I did not take the Old Dominion policy, Richmond is not the capital of the Confederacy. Montgomery, Alabama is the capital of the Confederacy, down here. Which means that the main telegraph trunk originates at Montgomery, and one big leg of it goes all the way around this way, and then back up toward Nashville, sort of. Is Nashville actually connected? It is, barely. There's an offshoot coming from Corinth to Decatur up to Nashville. And the other main trunk comes up from Alabama through Georgia and North Carolina into Virginia. So these armies are actually a fair distance away from the War Department. Come on, get across the mountains. He's close enough to reinforce now, I think. Probably didn't need to move him quite that far. Okay, I think what we want to do now. He's got 33,000 men here. And we've got about 28,000. So this is kind of even. He's still got a few thousand more. But I think now we want to precipitate a battle before Department of Pennsylvania might come down here. So I'm going to get Johnston a little closer here. Maybe. Yeah, he didn't wait. And he came in and attacked us without waiting for reinforcements. If the Department of Pennsylvania was even coming, who knows? Okay. 32,000 infantry, 49 guns, against 28,000 infantry, 52 guns. We actually have more guns than the Union does. And we also have like 300 cavalry. And Shenandoah Army is 0 hours, so should be on the field right at the beginning of the battle. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pop into the map, take a look at the objective. Well, we can do that bit here. It shouldn't take all that long. All our troops are untrained, but that's true for the enemy as well. We're on even ground here. Okay. Predictably enough, we are on the Manassas map. We are defending. There is one objective. It is Groveton, and it is way over here, right here by our deployment. Okay. Do we in fact have both corps? They're called armies at this point. Eventually they will be corps. So we got the North Virginia Army. Ooh, and the Shenandoah Army is not on the field yet. Well, typically there's a mouse over tooltip that tells you how long until they arrive. Maybe I have to be out of HQ mode to see that. Okay, 3 hours until the Shenandoah Army shows up. And typically, there would be a mouse over tooltip here that tells you which road, which entry point they can be expected to arrive at. Let me see if I get that if I come out of HQ mode. Yes, okay. Well, the report said 3 hours. This tooltip says 4 hours. Expected to arrive from Hopeville. By the way, it is already 6:30 in the evening, 18:30. And in July, it gets dark at 2100. So we've only got about 2.5 hours today. So basically, Johnson's going to arrive overnight, and let's see if we can figure out his route. Okay, so he's coming up here just to the north of us on our left. So he'll deploy right in this area. And probably within the deployment zone, a connected deployment zone. So we'll actually just be able to deploy him wherever we want tonight. Okay, so that works out. Right, if that's the objective, yeah, right in the immediate area doesn't look all that great. It's kind of depressed. It's higher ground over here. This looks like a possibility. Maybe along in here, facing down into this shallow creek ravine. Maybe up here. Maybe up here on the crossings over Bull Run itself. Where is McDowell coming from? There is a federal point here. Looks like that's about it. Okay, so McDowell's army is spawning in somewhere in this area, no doubt. And from here, there's not any obvious routes coming from up this way. Probably down this road into Centerville and then straight down the Warrenton Pike seems to be the most obvious route. And this area right in here is within our deployment zones. So we can kind of cover these few. There's several choke points in here. To cover them all, you do have to spread out a little bit. So I think the stone bridge is the obvious place to cover. And we need to be able, I don't know if I want to put forces all the way over here such that we're firing on Poplar Ford, but you know, we need to honor the fact that some units could come around this way and over Balls Ford. Island Ford looks fairly unlikely just because it's a circuitous route on roads to get there. And, you know, the AI likes to take roads, which is reasonable. I like to take roads when I'm moving long distances. That's not like a, oh, stupid AI thing. That's what, you know, moving troops would do. That's cool. And, okay, so it's a little predictable. Yeah. That's why they fought over roads a lot. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm going to kind of set up something in this area. We've got 15 engineering points. So we can do a few breastworks kind of in this area, set up our artillery and all that sort of thing. So I'm going to set all that up, and then I will be back. And we'll get... I may actually proceed on ahead, right? I don't think there's going to be any fighting today. May not even sight any Federals today. So I'll probably proceed on through the night in the next deployment phase and get Johnston's troops on the field. And I'll come back in the morning of day 2. All right. Okay, it is 5 o'clock in the morning on day 2, and I gotta say, the AI kind of threw me for a loop. So I set up a defensive position along these fords, as I talked about, before nightfall, the beginning of the battle. You can see the empty breastworks there covering them. McDowell did indeed come down this route to Centerville and right down the pike. And then, right here, just past the Grigsby farm, he took a right and started coming down this way. And troops started showing up over here, right just before dark. Uh-oh. Then went into deployment phase overnight. No shooting occurred, by the way. No combat. Not even arty. And our deployment zones for the two armies were not connected. And so this was, had to deploy Johnston's army in between here. So they're kind of separated right now. And it looks like there's more Federals coming down this way. Through the Sudley Church, the Sudley area. Sudley Springs, Sudley Mills, Sudley Ford. So that created a little bit of a problem because there's not really, if you look at the terrain here, there wasn't really a good place to put Johnston's guys. If I put him over here, he's even that much more separated. Not a lot of cover through here. Has to cross a creek and, still leaves Federal troops the opportunity to just kind of go right past him, right into Beauregard's flank. Setting them up on the road to come down through this route. Oh, that looked bad because, hey, it's a pretty torturous route through here. And, no room to maneuver, bring firepower to bear. And it just smelled like that was going to turn out into a nasty little firefight in this area where we wouldn't necessarily have any advantage whatsoever. So this kind of looked like the lesser of 3 evils. This is not a great position. This is not where I intend Johnston to actually fight, but I'm limited by the deployment zone, right? So I've got him in line here. At least I get him across the creek. He's on the correct side of the creek here. They can move forward in line. As they come out of the woods, there's some fences here for cover if a fight develops here. If not, his guy's got to get over the fences. That's going to be some cohesion. This looks like the best chance, though, of being able to be somewhat coordinated with Beauregard's army. So that's where I've put him. His artillery is limbered up here. They got to get through here somehow and find a firing position. Johnston's army is pretty small. It's only 4 brigades. I don't really want them fighting a completely separate action. Anyway, that's what I've done with Johnston. The little bitty cav, Ewell's got his cav over here, all like 330 of them. And I'm just intending them to provide a little extra vision. Maybe there will be an arty battery that gets exposed, but he's just going to kind of hang out over here on this side watching. He's not big enough to really get in any real combat. So, Beauregard, he's still sitting down here because at the beginning of the battle, you can move and put your commanders wherever you want. During an overnight deployment, though, they sit where they sit, and you can't move them immediately like you can the divisions and brigades. So Beauregard's coming over here where he should be, the artillery commander. He was here because I had a battery over here and a battery over here. He's coming over here where he should be. I got Longstreet's division on the right, kind of anchored on on the river, creek, river, Bull Run, big creek, small river, whatever. Got a little bit of breastwork here. He's got 2 brigades up on line behind breastworks. Cook, or not Cook, Cock is kind of a reserve in case they have to flex over here to cover this ford or the stone bridge. I don't think so though. The Federals are over here in fords. I don't think they're going to change things up. Harvey Hill, he's got his 2 brigades. They're sitting right here because where I want them is just outside the zone. These guys are going to move up as soon as I get the clock rolling and kind of extend the line along these fences here. And then Jackson's division back here, same thing. He needs to move some. He's going to come up this road and establish a position between Harvey Hill and the railroad. And hopefully that extends our left, Beauregard's left, far enough that it shouldn't be that hard to connect with Johnston. And then this battalion needs to kind of move somewhere in here and find a spot to fire. It's not looking all that terribly great, to be honest. So you know what? Kudos to the AI. At least in their maneuvering, I guess they came down here, saw that the way was blocked, and took an alternate route. And kind of complicated things a little bit for me. Good job. All right, let's get time rolling. Okay, so they didn't really move that much from their last known positions. Unfortunately, fortunately for us, this artillery battalion finding himself in a tough spot right here at the beginning. Are these skirms? Yeah, here. I wonder if skirms can melee. They can. I wonder if it's a good idea for 150 skirms to melee a 150-man artillery division.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to find out.
What they can do, however, is rotate and shoot the hell out of them. I guess Jones just automatically rotated to shoot at the... that's better. Here, pull your skirms in. Those are your skirms, right? Jones attachment, yeah. Let's do that instead. He's only got such a short arc because the skirms are in the way. Because of the overnight movement, Pickett's got a little bit of cohesion problem. He was marching through woods last night to meet the threat in case they got here in time to fight last night. Got 1 battalion over here just on the right, kind of the best spot I could find for him. He should cover through here pretty good. Alright, let's get that's some skirms there. Yeah. Okay, let's tell Bonham to come up here. Let him get on. He won't quite get all of these guys on the fence. That looks good enough. Here, go there. Yeah, just don't advance. Just move up there. And let's get Withers here. That's fine. And let's just go ahead and move Hill up right behind his brigades. Okay. Jackson. Let's have you take up a position about like so. And then no. Let's see if you can get all the way to No. There we go. Let's see if you can get all the way to that fence. Well, it looks like a decent spot to put that battalion. I don't know yet. At least, I'm just going to leave them there for now. Kind of let the positions coalesce. Okay, Johnston's guys. Let's at least, just as an initial move, let's come on up to the fence line here. I don't expect that to be their fighting position, but just as an initial stage. And Smith, bring your guys about like so. Artillery, come on back over this way for now. Okay. Shamblish's hangout. Or Ewell. Ewell is detached, by the way. In Johnston, I thought I had given him a movement order. Well, I guess I need to actually click him. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sending him this way just to... and then he'll loop back around over the bridge. If I gave him an order to come over here, he would actually go all the way up in here by the Federals and back. So that's why he's coming this way. Right. The main thing right now is just beat up this artillery battalion. Okay. He's routed, predictably enough. Looks like Billy Yank hasn't actually come across the run over here. Ooh, these guys are moving back the other direction now. That's actually a good thing. That's going to let Johnston connect without any perturbations. The problem with that is I'm not 100% sure I want Jackson coming all the way up here now. I think maybe Jackson needs to come back over to this position. I'm going to let him keep going, though. Having Beauregard's army from the railroad bank to the run right through here, that seems about as good as it gets. That looks like a decent position under the circumstances. Is already finding any shots? No. Yeah. I mean, you saw earlier I highlighted the firing cone, but now that we got time running, he can't see diddly squat. Let's just ease him up a little bit. It's a short distance. I don't think he needs to limber up for that. All these guys are going to be tired and have no cohesion by the time they get through all this mess up to that fence line. Let's rotate Jones back into his... There we go. don't know why it's not getting green cover. Which one of these is the bigger? Yeah. Hey, Pickett. See those guns over there? Let's go grab those. No? Come on. Ah, that already's got some line of sight now. There he goes. Pickett's gonna go grab those guns. So if that detachment is doing that, let's send out some skirms here to kind of cover them. What are you doing? Can I rotate him? I can. Alright, Jackson's guys are coming up. Maybe... is that a decent artillery's? I don't know if we're going to find much better. Let's bring Walker's battalion. Let's kind of bring them over here. Somehow those skirmishers came out here to grab those guns and found some horses along the way. Kind of looks like they don't grab all the guns. They just grab a gun. He's got four guns. There's always more men or guns than it shows on the map. Alright, I don't know how well those infantrymen are servicing the artillery, but at least they're shooting with their own guns back at them. Just move Ewell up a little bit for vision. No! He's supposed to be detached. But you still gotta wait for the order delay. I thought detached division commanders didn't have to deal with that. Well, that sucks. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I'd even tested it toward the end of the last Union campaign. And I did get division commanders detached to move without waiting for orders. It's irritating. See, these are These are no, they're Springfield armed, okay. Let's try to get these guns back over behind the line. Let's do that. Otherwise, you're just going to sit there and wind up routing yourself. Okay, let's check fatigue and cohesion. Good, okay. We're doing alright. Okay. Alright, these guys are headed toward these Fords over here. Let's get our reserve brigade over here. Like so. And I think Jackson needs to come back over here. Bit of a countermarch there, but I think that works okay. And let's get Smith up to here. Looks like a weird position for one of those brigades. And Loring can go... What we'll do is we'll put Loring where we had Jackson. About like so. Johnson needs to come up to about here. Where's our artillery? They're still moving. Let's bring them to, I'm going to say about here. We've got a real attack going on here, it looks like. Alright, we need to get this arty out of here. Well, I'm a little disappointed in Pickett for not going to long range on his own there. Just sitting there eating. Okay, it looks like he's done it now. And that was before the order got there. So he did make that decision on his own. Rosser losing it. Yeah, okay. That artillery battalion broke. Rosser's probably going to get defamed. It sucks. He's one of my favorites. Yeah, he's not going to unbreak either. Completely lost all of his resilience. That battalion is done. Okay. These volunteers are taking the worst of it. Pickett is taking casualties. Let's bring this little captured... Well, they're firing. Well, as long as they're shooting, I'm not going to move them. Uh-oh. So Jackson's path looked like it was going this way. However, he's got 2 brigades that are doing something different. Hopefully they don't get into trouble there. I think right up here... Come up just a little bit further on top of this crest, and then we'll unlimber you. Pickett doing? Almost 400 casualties. Volunteers have taken 650. This militia brigade over here is reorienting because they're taking flanking fire from these Mississippi armed skirmishers way over here. Militia brigade falling back, good. These guys got to break soon here, right? 750 casualties. Ugh, I think it's taken almost 500. I think he's going to beat back this brigade, but I don't know how much he's going to have left in the tank. Once Jackson's guys get back over here, I'm going to take Cock and come over and have him relieve Pickett in the line, in the works right here. That's my plan. We'll see how it works out. Okay, these guys, unlimber. Let's move this cav up a little bit. Got to order the commander separately, the old way I was doing it. Volunteers are wavering, almost 1,000 casualties. Pickett's getting toasty. I think early's close enough. Here, Cock, pull your skirms in. Fall back a little bit. turn right where you are. Oh my goodness, really? I just wanted you to fall back. I think I just picked the wrong button there. See if I can get that guy to halt in time. Probably not. AP Hill. I can't rotate cock yet. Evans. Early. Okay, Evans, come over here, take up this position, covering this forward now. Really come up on the flank to support. Pickett's taking 800 casualties. Come on, Cog, get up there. Let's get lowering up to here. Okay, let's sort of cock up into the breastworks. Let's fall Pickett back to about here. Okay, this division over here is engaged now. This is artillery. This guy's doing no good here. Let's move him up. Using the advance order. Could use some artillery over here. Hey, pick a well. They're about done anyway. Here, come on over here. Shoot at these guys. Okay, Cock is manning the breastworks now, and Pickett is no longer taking. Just in the nick of time, he had half a heart of resilience left. Nice job, Pickett. Good job today. Let's try to get early up here. I don't think he's too close to put out. Yeah, go like so. Where's our other brigade? AP Hill, how about you come on? That fence is going to mess up his movement. Just kind of come over here and reserve for the moment. Jackson, get up closer. Oh, biggest detachment broke. Smith up to about here. What exactly are these guys doing? Oh, they got their eyes on Ewell. Okay, well, we can run away. Casualty situation. 3,400 to 1,900. I don't want these Mississippi armed guys taking the brunt of the fire. I'm going to pull them back. And we'll advance Hill's brigade up instead. They're not any bigger. Those skirms really shouldn't be able to last much longer, I think. Oh, Cock has got no range. Springfield muskets. Hill, what are you doing, bro? He's moving. Cock is at long range. He just can't. He just doesn't have the range. Doesn't have the weapons. I don't know if I want him coming out of the breastworks though. I think it's time to advance. We need to get moving over here on this flank. These guys are engaged. These guys are engaged. So basically, Cock is just tanking right now. These guys have taken a... Yeah. Come on. Push out of the breastworks. Take these guys out. They should be on the verge of falling back. Gosh, I hope so. Alright, now we got Hill engaged over here on the ford. That should drive those damn skirms back. Oh, Early's not doing too bad at all there. Right now he's firing on the artillery. He's firing on both of these units now. Go, Cock, go. I don't think units regain resilience, right? Yeah. I really can't do anything with Pickett. That would be a desperation move. Okay, these guys can come out of their works. Want to keep them firing? Sort of. That's not a good spot. Alright. We're going to come on over here. Let's get this artillery over here too. Maybe creating kind of a traffic jam in this area. Oh, Cock. Fall back into those works. You got angry Federals in front of you there. He's about to break. I gave him the fall back order. Why did he turn around entirely? At least he's not getting the flanked fire debuff. Oh, they're still facing forward. Okay. Just the flag's backwards. Looks like Jones is doing okay there. Cock is wavering. I think it's not going to be able to do much behind him, but I guess I better just go ahead and move him over here. I might just wind up being two broken brigades instead. Man, those skirms. They are wavering, jeez. Who's wounded? Jones wounded. Oh, here. Okay. This brigade is wavering, having taken over 50% casualties. Hang on, cock. He's not gonna... He may last another volley, if that. When he goes, Pickett is not much better right behind. There he goes. Okay, well. Let's bring Evans over here. And I'm not going to put him up in those works. But with his range, hopefully he can keep the Federal, from on top of this hill, maybe he can keep the Federals away. I think their attack is starting to dissipate, though. And we've got some of Johnson's guys coming up now. There comes McLaws. B already in position. As soon as McLaws gets up here, I'm going to advance these guys right into these Federals right here. Let's put... There's not really a good place for Smith to come into action. I want to move this little bitty cavalry unit back a ways, though. I don't want him getting engaged. I don't see a good way for Smith to get across the river here without potentially getting in trouble himself. I think we're just going to hold our position and keep the Federals from coming around this way. Okay, how's our position doing here? They are falling back. Okay. Alright, let's chase. As best we can. Our guys are going to get snarled up themselves right there in that ford. Send Evans this way. Pickett doesn't really have any juice left. Jones has got a little. Go ahead and advance. Bonham advance. B, fresh troops advance. I never did unlimber this artillery. I don't know if they even have shots now. We can try it. Okay, 6,500 to 3,300. Go ahead and see if these guys can catch that brigade in the ford. They got to cross a ford themselves to get there. So maybe not. Let's see if this brigade can bag some prisoners. Did I not tell early to advance? I guess I didn't. Here, let's get Jackson over here. He's got a brigade over here as well. McLaws is tired. Again, I thought no, I might not have told him to advance. He's getting kind of squeezed out by the... Here, shoot at that guy. If you can. Oh, he's in melee. Somehow. $7,000 to $3,800. Whew. Okay, charge. Try to bag the rest of these guys as prisoners. There's still a lot of men there. No? Go. There you go. I don't know if we'll get more prisoners that way. I mean, they're fully broken, so our guys aren't really going to shoot at them anymore. Yeah. Yeah, advance a little closer so that you can keep that unit under fire. I'm not going to try to get you to cross the creek. Yeah. I don't see this guy taking casualties. That sucks. I think we may have gotten whatever we're gonna get. Oh. Maybe we can still get this artillery? I don't know. Guy's taking a few more casualties. Oh, that's not going to work. Oh. Well, that's no good. Okay. Go, get him. Oh, let's move your commander up closer to you. Let's have another try at a charge here. Maybe. $7,500 to almost 4,000. 3,900. It's giving us credit for the major victory now. And where the hell are Evans' guys going? Oh my gosh. You're kidding me. Well, it wasn't... Well, he came out of the route pretty quick, at least. I don't know why he ran all the way up there. And he got in melee momentarily. I don't want to mess with him again. Here, fall back. Okay, yeah, that guy took about 400 casualties there. We may have 400 prisoners. I don't have my prison camp built yet, though. Nope. Got some action here. This federal brigade is wavering, despite Johnson being in just like a terrible position there, sitting at the bottom of the hill. Here, go charge him. See what happens. Hopefully you don't rout yourself. I don't think he's doing anything productive. At least he's not taking casualties. Here, get over there. There's only 3 minutes left. Fast forward. Okay. Well, we lost some of our guns. Didn't lose any of our cav. Didn't have much to lose. And almost 4,000 infantry. It was a pretty bloody battle, really. Given the size of the forces involved. McDowell loses about 9,000 men, half of his guns. Okay, let's take a look at, let's just see how many casualties. Longstreet's division should have done the majority of the work there. Johnson's guys did get 1,400 you know, they got into it kind of late at the end. Yeah, Longstreet's division, over 4,000 casualties inflicted. $700 prisoners. And Harvey Hill's division did pretty well too. 1,800 casualties inflicted. And total, almost 1,500 prisoners taken. That's a pretty good chunk of the federal total. Okay. So one thing that is not very prominent, not very prominently presented, is there is a federal strategic objective to win their first battle on Confederate territory. And the effect of that strategic objective is that Union morale stops dropping. The implication is until the Federals get a win on Confederate territory, their morale, their national morale, continues to drop. So we definitely want to keep that streak going as long as we can. Obviously, we don't want to lose any battle, but we don't want to. What I'm trying to say is, with some of our smaller forces, we don't want to mess around and kind of get in a, 5,000 guys attacked by 20,000 somewhere, like in Tennessee or Missouri. We want to avoid that. We don't want to give them that, that low-hanging fruit. Okay, and I think that will do for this episode. Thank you very, very much for watching.